Welcome to the 2024 VinFast IRONMAN 70.3 Viet Nam. Danang, situated on the clear East Sea at the mouth of the Han River, is the third largest city in Vietnam. The city's name originates from the Cham word, Danang, which means the opening of a large river. In addition to its stunning setting amid beaches and mountains, Danang is also known as a city of bridges. You will experience the most famous of these as you climb and descend Thuan Phuoc Bridge, longest suspension bridge in Vietnam, connecting Da Nang city center, the outlying district of Son Tra. Modern Da Nang has grown into one of the most well-designed cities in Vietnam. Home to everything from luxurious beachfront resort to bold, flavorful cuisine and fascinating historical attractions. Da Nang will become your stunning personal race course. The team we have this year includes but not limited to Mrs. Le Viet Phuong, Race Director, Mr. Nguyen Tran Coa, Head Official. We are all glad to see and welcome everyone to the 2024 VinFast IRONMAN 70.3 Viet Nam. Now let's start the athletes' race briefing. Here is a schedule of all the activities taking place during the VinFast IRONMAN 70.3 Viet Nam event week. Some key times to take note of. Athlete check-in is open on the 10th and 11th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Bike check is open on the 11th from 1 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. only. On race day, athletes should take note of, on the 12th race morning, transition opens from 4 o'clock to 5:15. Race starts at 5:45 a.m. for YPO, then 5:50 for the rest of the athlete field. Although the weather in Da Nang is ideal for the race, changes in weather conditions may impact the race activities during the weekend. It is important you monitor the weather forecast for Sunday to help you prepare for the upcoming race. At this stage, we are looking at a temperature of around 38 degrees Celsius on race day and slight northerly wind of 7 km per hour. Average water temp will be around 29 degrees. As an athlete participating in the 2024 VinFast IRONMAN 70.3 Viet Nam, you will receive a race kit containing the following items: race bib, sticker set, tattoo, wristband, street gear bag, event bag, swim cap, and sponsor goodies. Mandatory bike check-in is on Saturday the 11th of May 2024 only. During the following time slot, 1 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. for all categories. Check-in will take place at the transition area, Sun Tui Beach, next to the Hyatt Regency Danang Resort and Spa. All bikes must be checked in by Saturday afternoon, May 11th, and left overnight. You can bring your gear into the transition area on the morning of the race day. Bike checkout is from 12:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. on the 12th of May. You are required to reclaim your bike and gear after the race. You must have your athlete wristband on in order to claim your bike and gear. For the bike check-in, athletes must personally check in their bikes. Upon entering the transition area, athletes should push their bike to their designated rack and racket. Then go to the timing tent to receive your timing chip before exiting the transition area. Once you exit the transition area, you will only be allowed to re-enter the next day. The transition area will be open from 4 a.m. to 5:15 a.m. Please ensure you leave yourself enough time on race day morning, as all athletes are required to be out of the transition area by 5:15 a.m. Please note that your timing chip will not be in your race kit. You must collect your chip at the exit of bike check-in, before leaving the transition area. Your chip must be worn on your left ankle at all times during the race. If you are unable to start the race, you are responsible for returning the chip. Failure to do so may disqualify you from participating in future VinFast IRONMAN 70.3 Viet Nam events. All relay team members must be present together at athlete check-in. If any member is absent, the team will not be allowed to check in. No exceptions. The timing chip is the relay baton each team member must fasten to their ankle when they begin their leg of the race. All members must wear their wristbands during the race. Only the run leg team member must wear the bib number. Swim and bike team members can run through the finish with their runner. Every team member must be wearing their relay wristband. Swim and bike team members should meet at the gathering zone near the relay team area leading to the finish chute. Individual athletes and relay athletes differ in their transition strategies in Ironman 70.3 events. For individual athletes, they manage their own gear and transitions between swim, bike, and run segments. In contrast, relay teams in Ironman 70.3 events also go through transition areas like individual athletes but share the responsibility of completing the race as a team, with each member focusing on a specific segment: swim, bike, or run. Relay teams must coordinate the handover of a timing chip during the race between team members, passing the timing chip from the swimmer to the cyclist and then to the runner at designated relay meeting point. Official bike mechanics will be available to support athletes during the specific timeframes shown from Friday the 10th till Sunday the 12th. Bike mechanics will be unavailable to athletes during transition on race morning from 4 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Following this, bike mechanics will be roving on the bike course during the race. Your safety is our primary concern. The medical team will be staffing the medical facilities at the race venue, swim start, exit, transition, all bike and run aid stations and finish line. Medical resources will also be available while you are out on the course, at all aid stations and roaming along the bike course and run course. If you are not feeling well on race morning, we strongly advise you not to start the event. If you decide to not start the event, you must inform a race official so we can officially withdraw you from the event. If you start to feel unwell at any point of the day, we urge you to seek help rather than continue. Do not be afraid to ask for help. You will not be disqualified for receiving a medical evaluation. If at any time during the race, you experience chest pain or discomfort, shortness of breath, or lightheadedness, dizziness, please stop immediately and seek medical attention. A medical evaluation does not constitute outside assistance. You will not be disqualified for receiving a medical evaluation or for having someone help you in getting medical assistance. During the swim, raise and wave your hand, which will alert the water safety team that you need help. If able to, you can also verbalize you are in need of help by yelling, "Help!" You can also grab onto a kayak, paddleboard, or nearby boat. You will not be disqualified for grabbing onto any of these safety items during the race. During the bike and run, if you are not at or near an aid station, stop. Let someone know you need medical help. Anyone can help. Another athlete, a staff vehicle, event support vehicle, or event moto out on course, even a spectator. Have them alert the nearest aid station or staff member that you need medical assistance. Make sure you provide your bib number for faster assistance. After you have finished the race, please do not leave the post-race area until you are reasonably certain you are okay and are able to drink without vomiting and stand without dizziness. If you are not feeling well, please come to the event medical tent to be evaluated by the medical team before leaving the recovery area. Athletes must follow the prescribed course. It is the athlete's responsibility to know the course. Athletes must cover the prescribed course in its entirety. Failure to do so will result in a disqualification. If an athlete must exit the course, he or she should re-enter the course at the same point of departure before continuing. Swim course. The swim will have a rolling start at the Sun Tui Beach, featuring a triangle-shaped swim course going clockwise. The swim ends with athletes returning back to the beach and progressing towards the transition area at the beachfront. Safety officials wearing yellow vests with ribbons saying, "Water Safety Officer," will be monitoring the event. Should you require assistance while swimming the course, please raise your hand above your head and wave to get their attention. If you don't think that you can complete the swim in the time you selected during registration, you can downgrade your swim cap color to match your appropriate time upon athlete check-in. Athletes may not exchange to a faster swim cap. Upon completing the swim and exiting the water, athletes will run on the beach across a timing mat and through the showers. On entering the transition area, individual athletes will run toward their bikes while relay team swimmers will run to the relay tent to transfer the timing chip to their cyclist. Then the cyclist will run to their bike. Only after the chip and ankle strap has been transferred can the bike leg athlete go to the bike rack to begin the bike portion of the race. The 90 km bike course at the VinFast IRONMAN 70.3 Viet Nam offers a challenging and scenic route that showcases the beauty of Danang. The course commences at the Sun Tui Public Beach Lot near the prestigious Hyatt Regency Resort and Spa. Athletes embark on their journey by exiting the transition area, turning right, and heading north along the picturesque Trong Sa coastline. After covering 11.2 kilometers, athletes make a left turn at Le Van Luang, followed by a 1.5 kilometers stretch to the roundabout on Le Duc Tho, where they cross the impressive Man Quang and Thuan Phuoc bridges. Upon crossing the Thuan Phuoc bridge, athletes enter the Nguyen Tat Ton loop, starting on the rightmost lane beside the seaside. Each leg of this loop spans 11 kilometers before a U-turn, providing a challenging yet exhilarating experience. Reaching the U-turn A2, for the second lap, athletes keep left and take an U-turn. For T2, after completing 2 laps on Nguyen Tat Ton loop, athletes veer right, crossing the Thuan Phuoc bridge once more, and heading back towards the east seaside on Le Duc Tho. Continuing their journey, athletes proceed towards Hoang Sa, turning right to head south parallel to the eastern beach, covering 10.4 kilometers before making their way back towards the transition area. As athletes approach Hoin, they make a U-turn 6 kilometers past the transition area, retracing their path towards the transition area, marking the completion of the demanding 90 kilometers bike leg of the race. This bike course not only tests the physical and mental endurance of athletes. Aid stations are located approximately every 12 kilometers on the bike course. At the aid stations we will offer first aid, water in bottles with black cap, electrolytes in bottles with red cap, gels, GU brand, Vaseline, situated in toilets, sunscreen, trash bins for discarding rubbish, toilets. If not collecting items, please keep left away from the aid station. If collecting, please slow down, keep to the right and shout to volunteers what you want. Bins are available at both ends as only rubbish can be discarded in these areas, or there will be a littering penalty if anywhere else on course. To minimize the possibility of infringing the rules and thus avoid a visit to the penalty box, please observe the following. This is a non-drafting race and drafting will be strictly monitored. Riding on the left side of an athlete without passing or riding on the left-hand side of the bike lane when clear of other athletes can result in a blocking penalty. Keep 12 meters between yourself and the cyclist in front of you. Pass on the left of the cyclist in front, never on the right. Complete your pass within 25 seconds. Passed athletes must immediately drop back 12 meters when overtaken. A technical official will inform you of any penalty incurred by calling your number, advising you of the nature of the infringement, and showing you a card. It will then be your responsibility to serve the associated time penalty at the penalty tent. Yellow card means 30 seconds penalty for blocking violation. Blue card means 5 minutes penalty for littering, drafting violation and passing on the right. 3 blue cards violations will result in disqualification. No technology is allowed on course. The use of electronic equipment including telephones, including the use of earphones or other communication devices, may result in disqualification. The penalty tent is located before the dismount line in the transition area. Please note the following guidelines about the transition from the bike to the run. Dismount before reaching the dismount line and walk your bike back to your designated position following the prescribed route around the transition area. Rack your bike correctly by its seat. The front wheel must be facing outwards. Your helmet must remain on and secured until your bike is racked. Failure to do so may result in disqualification. Athletes should change to their run gear at their bike or at the designated change area. Exit the transition area via the run-out gate and begin the run course. For relay teams, cyclists must swap the timing chip with their team member at relay tent before the runner from the relay team runs through the run-out gate to officially start the last leg. The 21.1 kilometers run is a 2-lap course that begins at the transition area on the pristine Sun Tui beach. with athletes turning right onto Trong Sa Road and running parallel to the beach. At the 5.3 kilometers mark, athletes will reach the first U-turn point, A1, where they will turn around and head back towards the transition area. With spectators and athletes' family members lining the streets, the energy and excitement will be palpable as competitors make their way back to Sun Tui Beach. Upon reaching the transition area, athletes will turn around at U-turn A2 at km 10.5, before beginning the second loop of the run course, which is identical to the first, allowing athletes to familiarize themselves with the route and focus on their performance. With aid stations located every 1.1 kilometers to 1.3 kilometers, athletes will have ample opportunities to hydrate and refuel as they complete each loop. The race will officially end once athletes have completed their second loop and crossed the finish line on the sandy beach at the Hyatt. Please expect quite hot and humid weather. Don't forget to keep yourself well hydrated at all times. There will be 4 run aid stations along the run course. Run aid stations will offer items in this order: discard zone, toilet, water, Aquarius electrolyte, food, Gel GU brand, Coke, and first aid for athletes. Please discard rubbish in the bins in the discard zones only. Please note that the finish line is for athletes only. Friends, family members, or other spectators are not permitted to cross the finish line or enter the finish chute with participating athletes. The participating athletes will be disqualified if their supporters violate this policy. Relay team members are allowed to wait at the gathering zone in transition area before the finish chute area to join the runner on their way to the finish line. Once you cross the finish line, you will be guided by volunteers towards the recovery area, which is exclusively reserved for athletes. The recovery area will offer water, fruits, isotonic drinks, ice pools, and massage services. At the finish line, your timing chip will be collected and you will be presented with a finisher shirt and medal. A post-race meal will be available in the recovery area after the finish line from 10 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. on Sunday the 12th of May 2024, applied for Ironman 70.3 individual athletes and relay team members only. Street gear bags will be ready to pick up next to the finish line. For the safety of athletes, medical teams will be available at on-site venues and on the course during the race. The race will officially end 8 hours and 30 minutes after the final athlete enters the water. The swim course will close 1 hour and 10 minutes after the final athlete enters the water. Estimated cutoff time of the swim course is at 7:25 a.m. The bike course will close 5 hours and 30 minutes after the final athlete enters the water. There are 5 intermediate cutoffs on the bike course. The run course will close 8 hours and 30 minutes after the final athlete starts the swim. There are 5 intermediate cutoffs on the run course. Any athlete or relay team member that takes longer than 8 hours and 30 minutes to complete the entire course but crosses the finish line before the run course is closed will receive a NC, not classified, in the race results and will not be eligible for age group awards or world championship slots. Parking will be on surrounding streets in the vicinity of the event venues. There is ample event parking free lot operated by the organizer close to the expo area. For your own convenience, please review the changed traffic conditions and do not park on course on Sunday the 12th of May. No fees are required for all athletes and spectators. A team of 2,000 local community volunteers are providing support for the race. Kindly remember to express your gratitude to the volunteers after the race, as their contribution is invaluable, and we couldn't achieve our goals without their assistance. The 2024 VinFast IRONMAN 70.3 Viet Nam Awards presentations will be held on Sunday the 12th of May 2024 at 3:30 p.m. at Residence Garden, the Hyatt Regency Danang Resort and Spa. If you are on the podium and are unable to collect your trophy, please contact the event organizer within 24 hours after the event. Slot allocation for the 2024 Ironman 70.3 World Championships will be held in the Residence Garden in Hyatt at 5 p.m. after the race. We will have 34 age group qualifying slots for the event in Taupo, New Zealand on 14 and the 15th of December 2024. If you hope to earn a slot, please be on time for slot allocation. If you qualify for a slot and your name is called and you're not there to claim the slot is lost and will roll to the next athlete on the list, and there will be no opportunity to get it back. If you don't think you're fast enough to qualify, but still wish to go to the World Championships, definitely show up. There is always a chance you can earn a slot, as it is common for some slots to roll down from the top athletes in each age division. If you do take a slot, you will need a photo ID and be prepared to pay the USD $780 registration fee and 10% active fee at that time. Only Visa and MasterCard accepted. So get out there and race your heart out, people. Good luck and see you at the finish line.